Can I be completely honest? Most dual keys are quite hard to sell, which is why I will always advise my clients to avoid them as much as possible. Here's the problem with most of the condo dual keys. You are paying a lot more, but you are not necessarily getting more usable space or bedrooms. Let me show you what I mean with the recent new launches. Lentor Hill Residence's biggest 3-bedroom and its 3-bedroom dual key. Lentor Hill's 3-bedroom was 1130 square feet, whereas the dual key is 1302 square feet. This is 172 square feet difference in size. However, there is more than $450,000 difference in purchase price based on level-to-level comparison. So, if your budget actually allows you to buy the largest 3-bedroom for own stay, would you top up another $450,000 just to get a studio? Or would you much rather use that same budget to go for the 4-bedroom instead? Same thing at Nava Grove. The 4-bedroom dual key is only slightly bigger than the regular 4-bed, but priced $300,000 to $450,000 higher. Now again, if you see, it is the same number of usable bedrooms but priced significantly more. So if you're a buyer who just needs 4 proper bedrooms for own stay, would you actually fork out that much more for a dual key version? I'm pretty sure most of you actually will not prefer this. But lately, I've changed my views and I realized one thing, and not all dual keys behave the same. This is why I realized that EC dual key units perform very differently. So to further illustrate this, I'm going to compare a condo and a EC, which is both resale in Sengkang, to show this difference. First, let's take La Fiesta, a condo located in Sengkang, as an example. A typical 3-bedroom here transacts around 1.7 million, while a 4-bedroom goes for about 1.82 million. And the 4-bedroom dual key unit, if you guess the price, is around 2.33 million. Let's put this into context. Say I have a budget of about 1.7 to 1.8 million and I'm actually looking for a 4-bedroom. Would I go for a dual key? Likely not, right? Because a dual key layout gives me a 3-bedroom main unit plus a studio. But I need 4 bedrooms for my family. So this studio is not necessarily very helpful for me. And with this same budget, I think I'll choose the 4-bedroom classic instead because the top-up is still reachable, right? Between 1.7 to 1.82 million, I would say that it is well within my budget. But what if I'm not actually trying to look for 4 bedrooms? Will I still want to buy a 4-bedroom dual key? I mean, if I were to think in this perspective, even if I'm looking to buy the 3-bedroom for own stay and studio for rental basis, for my budget of 1.7 to 1.8, I need to top up another additional $600,000 more to go for a $2.3 million 4-bedroom dual key. So essentially, even though I like the concept of staying and renting at the same time, but my budget will be out of reach, right? I will not be able to afford a 4-bedroom dual key. But here's where things shift and my view on dual keys have started to change. Dual key units in ECs actually behave very, very differently. Let's look at the Topiary, which is located also in Sengkang. A dual key unit here transacts around $1.95 million. So if I'm a buyer with a $1.7 to $1.8 million budget, which is pretty similar to what La Fiesta 3-bedroom is going for, if I want to look into Topiary, right, I can stretch a little bit more to go for the dual key. Why? Because I can still get my 3 bedrooms for own stay, I can stretch a bit more and I can buy a 4-bedroom dual key unit, have a separate studio which I can rent out. And this is usually when a dual key will start to make sense. And that's the key difference which I'm trying to drive through in this video, right? In a private condo, a 4-bedroom buyer won't be able to buy a 4-bedroom dual key because they're looking for 4 functional bedrooms. But in an EC where prices are lower, A 3-bedroom buyer can easily stretch a bit more to buy a 4-bedroom dual key, which still gives them the main 3 bedrooms plus a rental unit without stretching their budget significantly. That's why dual key ECs are actually doing well. In fact, if you search on Property Guru, dual key EC listings are actually pretty hard to come by. I feel that it's not because this layout is suddenly very popular, but because the pricing allows the 3-bedroom buyers to access that own stay plus rental income combo. Similarly, if you have a budget of $1.8 million, you are looking to buy a 3-bedroom unit for own stay at newly TOP developments in the same area in District 19, like Affinity at Serangoon, Riverfront Residences, Floral Residences, would you consider buying a 4-bedroom dual key unit in Ecopolitan given the same budget? Because essentially you will still get 3 proper bedrooms, and on top of that, you still get to rent out a 1-bedroom for at least $2,000 to $2,500, which is very sufficient to cover your mortgage interest. In fact, if you look around in the Property Guru listings, you will find that surrounding that area there is actually not much of 1-bedroom supply, which is in competition to your 1-bedroom rental. So with that being said, does that mean that condo dual keys are something that you should avoid? Let me give you one example in the sense whereby if today you are looking into a condo, right, how do you actually shortlist a good dual key unit? I'm going to use Ori as an example to show you how do we actually make a 3-bedroom dual key which maybe is not so attractive to a very attractive unit. So in here, I actually do 2 units as comparison. The first one here is actually the 3-bedroom premium, and this is the 3-bedroom dual key in Ori. For the 3-bedroom premium, the first unit is 1023 square feet, and the next unit, the 3-bedroom dual key, is the 1130 square feet. So with this, the 2 units side-by-side comparison, you can see that it is 107 square feet difference. Based on the price difference, right, it is only about $145,000. So with $145,000, right, so today even if you are owning a 3-bedroom dual key, you find yourself actually facing some challenges in selling your unit, right? Here is one of the things that you probably can adopt if let's say your 3-bedroom dual key belongs to something that is very similar to what Ori has. So I give you a comparison and give you some ideas on how you can actually make the 3-bedroom dual key into something that can benefit you. Okay, so now I want to do a comparison. If today let's say I'm trying to market your unit, right, I'll look into what a 3-bedroom premium in the same development is sized at. In this case, it is the 1023 square feet 3-bedroom premium, and now I'm comparing it to my unit, which is a 3-bedroom dual key. Likewise, if you were to use the same method, which is saying that your 3-bedroom dual key, you buy 2-bedroom to stay and you can rent out the 1-bedroom, this is not likely going to be something that the market will usually accept. But if you market this 3-bedroom dual key into something that people can stay into, then there is a higher chance for you to be able to reach out to more buyers who is more willing to buy into your unit. So how do I actually do that is this. This is a 3-bedroom dual key. I go through the floor plan one by one. First thing first, when you walk in, you'll see that this is a studio. So in the studio, there is actually a pantry area and an attached bathroom, and of course a bedroom lah. Okay, and moving into the house, it is actually a 2-bedroom unit. So the 2-bedroom unit actually comes with its own household shelter, its own kitchen, 2 common bathrooms, and 2 bedrooms. So in total, actually it is a 3-bed, 3-bath. Isn't it very similar to the 3-bedroom premium that I'm looking at here, but only much better? So in order for you to make your unit actually appeal to buyers out there, you must market your 3-bedroom dual key into a own stay unit, which means that essentially the 3-bedroom premium in Ori is not the biggest 3-bedroom. The way you are marketing it is, my 3-bedroom is actually the biggest 3-bedroom, isn't it? So from the 3-bedroom dual key, what I would suggest for you to be able to maximize your profits is this pantry area can actually be taken down. and then built into a very long wardrobe area. So once you convert this, right, actually your 3-bedroom dual key can form as a own stay unit already. Except that this unit, right, has 2 master bedrooms. Having 2 master bedrooms, isn't it already better, right? And for this price point, I'm actually getting a much bigger unit. I'm getting an extra bedroom with extra wardrobe space. And also from here, you have to take down this door, so that people won't feel that this feels like a proper 3-bedroom for own stay. With that being said, if you like help figuring out which dual key units are actually worth considering, feel free to reach out to me. Not all of them actually make sense in my opinion, but if you do the due diligence and you do the right homework, actually you'll be able to find the right ones to purchase.